Cavaliers, Coach Bennett's bunch, obviously outplayed us. We had an idea what we wanted to do. We thought we knew exactly how they would guard it. And we missed a couple of shots that we typically get down, and instead of being 7-8, in pretty good shape at the end of the half, you're down 13, and that's not insurmountable, but very, very difficult. As good as they are defensively, I thought they were just exceptional today, and beat us to some things. So tip of the cap to those guys. They've got another very nice outfit.
Mike, in terms of Landers and Ollie, scored so well in the first half and then was less effective in the second half. Tony indicated it was just better defense.
Yeah, I thought it was, Mike. And you got a couple down that were guarded well. He just made a good shot, there in the first, and one of their few first half mistakes. I thought he was able to get behind something and got a three down. And didn't make those shots in the second. But I thought overall, Landers played another really good ball game.
How would you break down this matchup with Clark and Wabisa?
Well, obviously Clark got the best of him today in a matchup that we needed to win. Clark is he's very, very good, and the engine for them, and they put him in a number of ball screens, and I'll be interested to go back and look at it. He carved us up pretty good, and some of that, Wabisa's trailing it, so that's not on him. That's on our team, and again, we'll go back and look at it. But as we're 14 games into this thing, and I can't imagine life without Wabisa Bede. He's been terrific. He didn't have his best day. Our team didn't have its best day, but brighter days ahead.
Mike, you came in today leading the league in three-point accuracy.
May not after the day, Dave.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dave, we're going to have a hard time if we can't ring the bell, all right, from back there. Made 4.
What did you think of this selection? PJ goes 0 for 9. Did you think most of them were good looks?
I've seen him. I told him, as I tell him and others often, don't turn one down. I thought all of them were good. I thought maybe 3 in the first half. He looked a little rushed. He looked a little quick, and that concerned me. He has been so good from back there. I think he came in, at 43%. He didn't have his best day, but in terms of shot selection, I will not discourage any of them. I will not. And credit to UVA for maybe speeding us up a little bit, and need to handle that better.
As far as your team's poor shooting overall today and the turnovers, how much of that was Virginia's defense causing trouble, and how much was just kind of uncharacteristic performance by you guys today? Probably
a combination of the two, Mark. We had 6 turnovers at the 14-minute mark. We're averaging 9.5 on the year, 3rd in the country, I think. And to kick the thing around, sloppy basketball just drives me insane. 8 turnovers at the half, 14 for the game, 13 for the game. 13 for the game. Numbers are all messed up. 6 assists, 13 turnovers. That's not Virginia Tech numbers, but certainly would be less than fair not to credit Virginia and their their preparedness and their team's activity on the defensive end.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Braxton Key's been kind of working his way back from an injury. From what you've seen on film, how much better is Virginia with him mostly healthy?
Well, he's a really good player, needless to say, Gene. And what Braxton does for them is that it gives him the opportunity to play the 4, and they just matched us. They're going to play Diakite on horn, and now Huff comes in when we substitute and could move Diakite to 4 and Braxton to the 3. And that's a really big front line. So his versatility aids them greatly. And I thought he seen him play very well. I thought he was awfully good today. Very, very good.
Mike, 3 games into your ACC schedule, you played Duke and Virginia. With all the young guys on your team and stuff, how do you, is that a good thing to have, hit the gauntlet right out of the gate?
Hell no. Good Lord.
Does that get their
no.
attention better?
Well, yeah. That's the league. That's the league. And then we'll get out of here, and in 48 hours we'll head to Syracuse, New York, and play up there. That's ACC basketball. That's the league, and that's what we have in front of us. We got to play better, do a better job of preparing our team. But I could have drawn up a better schedule. I'll talk to Brazo about that when I get back on the bus.
Hey, Mike, I'm imagining it's probably been a long time, if ever, that you've had a 5-second violation and a 10-second violation in the same game. Can you speak to just how difficult it is to initiate anything against those guys? I mean, I know part of it is
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I couldn't tell you the last time, and that is embarrassing to have a. I say it all the time in practice. Number 1 goal, OB under offense, is to inbound the ball. You can't have that. And it was a long play, and it was new. We ran it right and probably didn't deliver it. It's such a timing thing with all of that. It's got to be on his right hand, and Wabisa pulled it back, and we got it. That's a bad turnover. That's my turnover. That should go on the stat sheet as Mike Young's turnover. And then the 10-second count, I thought it was a bad clock. I thought it was a loose ball. They reset the clock. Ted, who I admire a lot, says they got it right, so I'm certain that they did. I thought the clock reset while there was still a loose ball down there, and still bouncing around, and Wabisa comes up with it, and he recognizes the clock. So, live and learn. Interesting to have both of them in the same game, but those are not the fault of my team. We've got to the out of bounds under turnovers not good, bad, really bad.
Obviously,
What the heck do you want?
obviously, you had coached in this building before. Any thoughts about playing at Virginia for the first time as the Tech coach and as an ACC?
Well, I was certainly respectful of the rivalry and everything that goes into it, but it's just a classic college basketball atmosphere and a gorgeous building, great fan base, and just wish we could have played a little bit better, Doug.
Like when you look at Jalen and Hunter and where they are and where you are in figuring out how to use them, how is that process going?
Really good. I thought for the first time, maybe a first half at Dayton and Maui, when we took one across the bridge of the nose and we kind of backed up a little bit and looked awfully young. I thought maybe, Mike, the first time that I've looked at them in the eye and that they had a bit of a faraway look. We didn't have that, that same fire about us. But, that is, lived through some of that. But what those kids have accomplished and the progress that they've made physically, emotionally, has been, pretty special to witness, and I could not be more proud and happy with what they've brought to our program. Today was a tough day for all of us, but I am tickled to death to have those guys in the Hokie uniform. I can tell you that.
Mike, another tough shooting day for Naheem.
Yeah.
Was that Virginia's defense make it a tough day for him, or was that
Again,
something carryover?
probably a little bit of both. He's struggled a little bit. Again, Mark, that's a part of growing up and a part of figuring some things out, and you get those demons, we get those demons in their head, as a freshman, you're not quite sure how to work out of that. You're typically coming back with a little tiny Christian school where you can work some bugs out and, get some open looks, but that's not going to happen in this league. Had a bunch of good ones, and those good ones get back in the gym. He was in the gym after the Eastern Shore game. He'll be in the gym tonight, and he will work, and he will work, and he will shoot until he figures it out. He's putting together, Mark, he's putting together a really nice freshman year, going through a little dip. That's, they all go through that, and he'll bounce right back, and I expect him to play very well on Tuesday at Syracuse.
Coach, at times in the first and second half, you had an all-freshman lineup. What did you
I
see
really?
from those
Golly,
guys?
Bay. Come over there and throw something at us. I've seen it many times. Pardon me for interrupting you. Did you complete your question?
What did you see from those guys, and how important do you think this experience will be for their development and potentially, because this could be a lineup in 3 years from now?
Hope it was good for their development. It wasn't very good for the head coach's development. I didn't need it. I can be honest with you. I've seen it so many times. I look and see, all these young people, just where we are in our, in our progression. And they are wonderful guys, and they are working really, really hard, and have had some, great moments. And I see them progressing daily, defensively, offensively. They're great teammates. They love Virginia Tech, so bodes well for the future. But experiences like that are a part of growth. I wish it hadn't happened. It's painful, but it did. And I know exactly how they'll respond. We'll come back tomorrow and set our jaw and, again, turn our attention to the Orangemen.
Mike, you guys shot 10 free throws in the second half, all from Hunter and Tyrese. What helped you guys get in the lane and get to the foul line?
Saw a couple of matchups that we liked, and we drove the ball a little bit better. And Tyrese is just doing just a fantastic job for us, and his ability to slash and get to the front of the rim. He's doing a pretty good job at the foul line. I don't know what he was today, maybe 4 of 6. But his aggressiveness and, his toughness, he can just lower his head and get some places. And I thought he had some, of those moments, throughout the game today.